Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a Rolex Certified Pre-Owned Oyster Perpetual Submariner Date, reference 116613. It is two-tone, yellow gold, and Rolex 904L oyster steel. It is 40 millimeters in diameter. This one's a G serial, and G in theory would have been the 2010 model year, though I have seen G serials that are 7-digit, built as far out as 2012. So just keep that in the back pocket. The watch is 40 millimeters in diameter, 12.8 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 48 millimeters. We're just talking about the case. End link to end link, 51 millimeters is the total span across the wrist with a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. I'm going to take my glove off briefly because it can be difficult to judge the fit of a watch on a wrist that's covered by a glove. Here on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see that the watch fits nicely. I always prefer the down the barrel angle to show how close the lugs are to the edge of the wrist, and you can see not that close. So my wrist is 16, but I think a 14 centimeter circumference wrist could wear this. It is a little bit more formal than a standard sub two-tone with gold, so we have a low profile that'll fit easily under a dress cuff. That's the same as any other sub, but one feature that is endemic to the Submariner almost through every era of the watch is that for a dive watch, it's very thin, which is an agreeable quality on a timepiece that's just as likely to be used as a dress watch. Then here's the over the top, which I think exaggerates the width of any watch across the wrist. All right, we'll go back to our brand approved glove. Okay, taking a look at the timepiece now. You can see this is the so-called super case, so no bevels, sheer sides, squared off lugs, but still fairly easy to wear because it is sub 13 millimeters. You can see a combination of the 904L steel, which does not need to be rinsed after exposure to sweat or sea salt. That's the feather in its cap. Rolex, fully integrated manufacturer. They make their own gold and their own smelters. They actually have their own foundries. They create their own bracelets, cases, dials, movements, the whole thing, a fully integrated manufacturer. We have several removable links here. You can see that removable links are fixed in place using screws. And then we have a clasp that includes two locking factors. One here, you can see it's a spring-loaded lift lock with a beak, and then there's a hook on the clasp body, and then we have a clamshell, so it actually locks 2 times, one click and then the second click, so it's very secure. Inside the clasp, this is a big reason why you get a sub or a sea dweller. Frankly, if you're torn between, say, this and GMT, remember, glide lock gives you 20 millimeters of adjustment in 2 millimeter increments. So you can use it to just make a small adjustment for fit, or you can pull it all the way out to use over a dive suit. Also note the presence of an intermediate-sized link in case you find yourself in between sizes with the standard links. The watch features a relatively simple case design. You can see we have a trip-lock crown in gold. You know that because it has 3 dots, and the center dot is the largest one. That's trip-lock in gold. People always ask about the case back, and it never changes. That's what it looks like. We have a bezel made of gold, a crown made of gold, center links made of gold. I always love the straight through co-molded gold of the clasp, and to keep everything parallel, the clamshell itself. You can see the attention to detail here as the top of the outer lip of the bezel is polished, but then the bottom is satinated. It's a very sharp micro knurling that's easy to grip even when your hands are wet, sweaty, or gloved. Let's listen to the bezel. Outstanding action. It has a very sharp and tangible detent, but it's also very refined. Probably the best feeling dive bezel. Unless you like the belt-fed machine gun fire of, say, a Doxa sub or a Panerai submersible, I think this is as good as it gets. You can see that the bezel insert is scratch-resistant ceramic, and then PVD is used to deposit yellow gold inside the numerals and the indices for high contrast, but also durability over time, and it won't discolor for that reason. We have a bezel pearl that's actually capped in sapphire, so very durable. Rolex always with the attention to detail. 0 to 60-minute count-up timer. Yes, you can use it for diving, but it's also handy high and dry on land. I always prefer the legibility and easy reading of a dive bezel over a chronograph minutes register, and you don't get the downstream service costs of a chronograph. Hands and indices all in gold, 18 carats, so they too will never discolor. Black lacquer dial base, several layers, very glossy. Cyclops eye magnifier for the date. Let's do a lume shot here. You can see this was after the transition to Rolex's Chromolite in-house blue lume. And note that all three hands are lumed. For some reason, not all divers give you a luminescent seconds hand. I think it's essential. You need to know if your dive timer is ticking in the depths where light is not always abundant. Important to note, this is a true ISO 6425 diver. Now, the 6425 involves a lot of stress tests and torture tests that are performed on a homologation example, or one watch that's a stand-in for the rest of production. But every single ISO 6425 diver needs to be tested to 125% of the rated depth. So you can see that's 1,000 feet here. This watch was individually tested to 1,250 feet. Or I guess you could also say 375 meters. Now, taking a quick look, we do have the Cyclops Eye magnifier, and that allows you to more easily see the date. Some subsidiary setting modes here. Let's demonstrate some of them. One is the hacking seconds function. Stop the seconds hand, set it to a reference time. Self-explanatory, very easy to understand. We also have a quick set with a snappy, semi-instantaneous action that is quite quick and quite positive. Easier to do when you're not wearing gloves. And so that allows you to quick set the date. And Rolex always uses a lovely serif font on their dates. Taking a look at the case back, people always ask, there's nothing to see. It's a standard oyster case back. Here we have Rolex caliber 3135, bidirectional automatic winding, 48-hour power reserve, 4 Hz beat rate, 31 joules, 28.5 millimeters. It's got a full balance bridge and a free-sprung balance for shock resistance, a Breguet profile, hand-shaped overcoil hairspring for isochronous operation, consistent timekeeping in every position. It has an anti-magnetic niobium zirconium hairspring that is one of the features making this watch so durable, as it is shock-resistant, anti-magnetic, and water-resistant. And the movement is a Swiss-certified COSC chronometer tested in 5 positions to run no worse than -4 + 6 seconds per 24 hours over a 2-week test by the COSC. So there is a lot to love about this watch. It has a very tough and accurate movement, an elegant and versatile aesthetic, and a model line that's been around and will always be around from a forever company. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.